Welcome back to another Heroes and Generals video. Today we're going to be looking at my ranking of the Soviet Armour in 2026, an updated tier list. So first off, the Soviets start with this little guy, the T-38, and he is extremely weak and bad. Just cannot fight other tanks whatsoever, struggles to even hurt other small vehicles. You're gonna die so quickly in this. The only funny plus to it is that it can go through water. It has a propeller and it can float, so you can use this as a boat, but it sucks otherwise. Only has the one very small gun, and yeah, terrible experience using this tank. The first tank that you can buy is the T-26, and I don't know why I bought this the first time I played the game, before the revival, but it is basically just as bad. You're spending money for one of the absolute weakest tanks you could purchase in the entire game. It's so slow, it's so weak. You do not want to buy this tank. Avoid it like the plague. Even more so than the T-38, because you're spending money for this thing. It's so not worth it. And the first tank that's worth it, at least in the light tanks, is the BT-7. And for the Soviets, this guy is really pretty good. He's gonna be either A or B tier, basically between the two. What the hell, I'll just throw it in A. It's not insanely good armor, but it is one of the fastest tanks in the game, and has an okay turret, okay gun for light tank battles at least. And it's not that expensive either, so you definitely, if you're playing Soviets and you just want to level up as quick as possible, this is the first tank you'll want to pick up over the T-26, and definitely over the T-70, which is more expensive. So next up is the T-70, and this guy is surprisingly good too. It's tiny, but it's ridiculously strong if you don't hit it exactly in the right spots. So it's pretty well defended, and you can just hide in a bush and shoot at people and they won't be able to hit you back. They'll be very frustrating to fight against somebody's in the T-70. So if you really like light tank battles, you'll eventually want to pick up the T-70 to be a little stealthy tanker guy. Alright, moving on to the medium tanks, we have the T-28, and do not be fooled by its big appearance. This thing looks like a TOG 2, but it sucks. It has like 4 extra spots or something for people to shoot machine guns out of it, but man, it is so weak and poorly armored, poorly defended with its cannon and guns. It is so bad. Do not avoid this. Even as a joke, it's not worth wasting the credits. This guy will just get loaded up with rockets thrown at its face and it'll explode in no time, so don't even think about buying the T-28. Probably one of the best tanks in the Soviets next is the T-34-76. This is the tier 2 medium Soviet tank, and it has a very small like mantle and commanding section, so it's hard to be shot up there. It's just really good all around and pretty strong and capable as a tank. So I would really recommend this as the one medium tank that you pick up if you're playing as a Soviet tanker. Just get the T-3476 and you're set until you upgrade to, you know, the next classes of tanks. The T-3485 is its bigger brother, but it is much, much worse. You see down here, there's these giant external gas tanks. Those can get easily shot and blown up. I think even with just normal infantry rifle rounds, they can get destroyed and take a huge chunk out of your health. Also has a giant mantle and turret, so that just makes yourself much more of a target than the T-3476. So it is not worth it. Even with the slightly better gun, do not get this tank in my opinion. Next we have the KV, what is this even called? The KV-82? KV-85. This is very rarely seen as a tank. It also has the problem of the external tanks, fuel tanks, and the giant turret. But it does have the, I believe, the rear gunner sight, so you can shoot any infantry who's coming up behind you pretty easily because it has a rear machine gun out of the turret. But other than that, it's just basically the T-3485, so it's really not worth to buy the KV-85. The largest tank of the Soviets, the IS-2 or JS-2, it's maybe it's worthy of A tier. Because it has this absolutely massive cannon, but it is not amazing compared to like the Tiger II or something like that. Yes, it's giant and strong and has a giant cannon, but it's just not the best tier 2 heavy tank out there. That's why I can't put it in an S. And I believe it also has the rear machine gun, as well as a front machine gun, so that's nice. The Soviet tank destroyers, first there is the Su-76M. This thing is pretty shitty, but maybe not a D tank, because it does have a slightly okay gun, being a 76mm. The top is exposed. It looks stupid, it's slow, and just not great. It's weak, but maybe not deserving of D tier. But I would not pick up this tank in my opinion. A much better tank is the Su-85 tank destroyer. This guy is B tier because it's okay. It's short, it has a okay gun, 85mm gun. It does have the external fuel tanks though, so it can get killed quickly from the sides or behind. But front on, this guy's surprisingly okay for just a normal tank destroyer. So not a terrible pickup, this guy right here. And lastly, for the Soviet tanks, the Su-100. This is probably the only other S tier Soviet tank, just because it has a absolutely massive long-barreled gun. This guy has the double zoom sights and unfortunately external fuel tanks, but this can shoot across the entire map. It's really powerful and you can just sneak around and then ram and obliterate other tanks. You can also ram with the Su-85 and just keep firing and ramming like German heavies from behind. You can get a lot of heavy tankers that way. So yeah, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.